We have some hemming to do. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the bottom of the hoodie over, and we're going to sew close to the edge on the inside, and then we can add the cording for the drawstring at the bottom of the hoodie, and then we'll do the sleeves the same way without the drawstring. Here's the bottom of our hoodie, and it's on the inside. So what we want to do is we need to finish this edge, so we're going to hem this. We're going to fold this over, and we're going to make sure that we're sewing along this edge here, so that we can build a casing, so that we can get our cording inside here. And we're going to start here because this is the most important spot. 2.5 centimeters. So that's where we're going to be measuring all the way around the hoodie at 2.5 centimeters. We're going to pin our material up so that then we can sew close to the edge and all the way around. Also, when I get to this spot, I'm going to split the seam and I'm going to turn it over, and I line up the outside seam with the inside center seam there to make sure that this material is nice and straight and everything's lining up. Measure to make sure it's correct, and then pin. I'm going to sew as close to this edge as I can, making sure that I catch all of it, but I want to leave a fair amount of space in there for as the casing. Now, where this material moves, you can see how you've got your pivot there. That's where you're going to fold. And I'm going to split the seam again, and what you'll notice is that it fits perfectly at that fold. So you adjust it to make sure that it matches, and then you go around the wrist and you measure and pin again, just like the bottom of your hoodie. Now you're going to do it at the wrist as well. It's important that when you're doing the second sleeve that you measure that exactly the way you did the first sleeve, because your hoodie would look kind of goofy if one arm was longer than the other. So you just want to make sure that what you do on one side is what you do on the other, so that they are even. Okay, and now we're ready to sew. I'm going to sew the bottom of my hoodie first, but since I'm doing it in a continuous circle all the way around, it'll be easier if I take this off. So what you do is you reach around to the back and you just pull it up and you can take it off. Now I'll be able to get the material underneath and it'll be able to go in a circle. I'm going to start at one side. Now, because I want to sew really close to this edge here, I'm going to change where my needle position is. So I'm going to put my needle position to 6, and you'll notice that the needle is going to go all the way over to this side. So the needle is as far over to this side as it can be. So I'm going to line up my presser foot so that the edge of the material lines up with the edge of the presser foot. And my needle is already over as far to the left as it can be. So it's going to sew really close to the edge. I'll put the needle in first, presser foot down. Now I can take these pins out. I don't want to sew over them, and they're just holding the material, and now the presser foot and the needle are doing that for me. Back stitch, and then go forward. Remember, now this is a really stretchy area of the material. It's going to get a lot of pull every time you put it on. So you want to make sure that you're pulling a fair amount. When you're pulling your material, you also want to pull from the back so that you're not fighting the machine. You don't want to fight the machine. Okay, I'm almost at the end. Go past into the original beginning of the seam. Go past and then go back so that you've sewn a complete circle. Now I'm going to do the wrists. It's going to be a tight fit, so we're going to already have stretch, so there isn't going to be any need for any of that. Bit of a tight fit. But I'm going to set it up the same way, and I'll just help the machine to sew all the way around. This is a really good example of how well the feed dogs work underneath to pull the material through the machine, because I'm really not touching it and it is very tightly on this arm. to remember is that this is an extra small pattern that I'm making. As we get into the larger sizes, the wrist is going to be a bit bigger, and you may not even have this issue of trying to stretch the material so that you can get this wrist onto the arm. Okay, time to take it off. Okay, so we've got some cording to go around the inside casing of the hoodie. So what we're going to do, we've taped the ends so that they don't come apart. We're going to carefully pin this. Okay, so now we're going to take the bottom of our hoodie. We're going to find one of our buttonholes. We're going to feed this into our buttonhole. We're going to feed it all the way around to the second buttonhole. And you are going to be careful about the seams. If you need help with that, you can come and ask me for that. You're going to feed this cording all the way around. Notice I'm not straightening this out because I don't want to pull too hard on the cording that's on the pin right now, because I don't want to destroy. There we go. There's our second buttonhole. I just want to get the cord through, but I don't want to pull it too hard because I don't want it to disintegrate on the pin. So now I'm going to hold the cord, and now I'm going to pull it through. Okay. More like that. I want it to be even, so now I'm going to hold the cord and pull it through so that I get more two ends that are even. Now I can take this off the pin, off the safety pin, and I can take this tape off, and I'm going to tie a knot so it doesn't unravel. Because you can see, even with most of that, it's going to start unraveling as soon as I get all of the tape off. And I want the knot to be pretty close to the end. Like that. And I'm going to do that to this end as well. If I wanted to, I could put some fray stop on here. I could put a little bit of glue, white glue on here, so that it would dry and harden and it won't fray anymore. So now we're ready for the reveal. So we'll turn this right side out. Pull the hoodie up through the, and now we've got a finished hoodie. Sleeves. You can see how all four seams come together in the corners. And you've got your hood. And we're done.